Good morning, everyone. My name is Patrick Hiron. I'm a biology major here at UNM, and today I'm going to be discussing some of the big research projects we're doing here at UNM and kind of sort of how they can even benefit us. And so whether we like it or not, all of us have had some impact from substance abuse, whether it be a loved one, someone, anyone really. It could be your best friend, your neighbor, anyone. And these harms are significant financially, with total costs of $420 billion annually and more than $120 billion in healthcare. And that comes from a study from the American Clinical and Climatology Association. So this study not only proves that substance abuse is like a local issue or a user issue, this is a global issue, in fact. Because when we think about it, we have to pay taxes for this healthcare funding. We have to also understand we're supporting to help towards these people who are suffering. And this doesn't also take into account the cost of therapy for true recovery post addiction and help. However, financially, this is the least of our problems. Instead, we should be prioritizing the overall well-being and quality life of humans. We asked the question if we should celebrate life when we bring it into the new world. This world is not in a very good place as it sits with all of the current stuff going on. For example, COVID, substance addiction, the high amount of poverty right now, and just overall people not wanting to work and really apply themselves to their true potential. And this brings to my attention the great work we're doing here at UNM. UNM researchers have teamed up with local therapy and criminal justice services to see where the true issue really starts. It begins with our state ranking the lowest in high school graduation and the fifth amongst all states in most accidental deaths. And this doesn't just include suicide, this also includes overdose and child poverty, or as well as simply falling off of something, we rank pretty highly on that. And the worst statistic gathered, in my opinion, from this data would be New Mexico ranking third for the most opioid addictions. This is a huge problem as opioids are so easy to come by. Say you break a leg or something, it's not generally too hard to go and get some opioids. And so the main question UNM is trying to target is, how can we change the perception of substance abuse? Once we find the answers to this question, I see no reason why we all shouldn't be trying our hardest to spread the very word. Another great factor we also have to consider is the effect it had after COVID-19. Would our data be significantly worse now that people have a little bit more stress in their lives? Because we all know the pandemic has been such a burden, and in times we all look for a way to kind of relieve ourselves and honestly just be happy. Depression can consume our life, but it lies in us to determine whether or not we turn to addiction or we find a healthy and safe way to kind of clear our minds, get over it. For example, going to a gym, it's a great time passer, and yeah, just overall a great foundation to kind of set your mind, and not only your mind, just your life in general. Kind of, if you track your progression across the gym, it also applies itself to your life in a way, because little small steps get you further and further. And although we might not take into account these little small things we're doing, in the long run, eventually they're going to catch up to you and they're going to have a great impact on you. And the entire point of this movement is to prove how you can, or how we, not you, how we can make a difference. And to do this, we have to understand that what everyone's going through. Although it's very cliche, don't judge a book by its cover, everyone hears it over and over again. However, I feel like no matter how many times we hear it, it's always a great message. We oftentimes overlook someone's capability and overall just general health. They might be driving a lavish car, a nice house, have a lot of money, have everything really handed to them. But generally, that doesn't always bring happiness. Happiness lies within you and the moments you share with your family, things you do on a daily basis. And personally, if I was working a 9 to 5, although I'd probably be a lot more wealthy, I know I'd come with a lot more stress and a lot more burden on myself. I'd kind of hold a chip on my shoulder, if you will. And if we also take into account that it only takes one stressful or two overly stressful day to fall into opioid addiction or to fall into any sort of addiction, it can happen to any of us at any time, really. Say times are getting tough with the family or anything. We're all tempted to grab a bottle, drink our hearts away, and hopefully the pain will go away. But this is all it takes to begin an addiction. And this can be Bob from down the street. This can be Bob down the street, your parents, a sister, a brother. Substance abuse holds no certain victim. It holds no barriers or limits to who it chooses or who it chooses to affect. It can get any of us at any time if we let it. Also, we have to take into account what exactly a substance is. And really, this varies in any form of anything that is easily addictive. It can be as simple as your morning coffee that is so hard to turn down. I'm sure we've all heard the, I can't think without my coffee, or I haven't even had my coffee yet. Let me wake up. And do we think this is healthy? It points to a caffeine addiction, which personally I relate to. As I was going to the gym, I started taking high amounts of caffeine, ranging in the 400 milligrams on a daily basis. I realized when I didn't take this, I would feel so much weaker, and my overall, I would just feel slummy. I would be tired throughout the entire day, not only the workout. And from a study done by San Francisco General Hospital Medical Center, we can see that caffeine is the world's most popular drug, with 80% of people being addicted. But that's enough of me. UNM is a R1 ranked school, which means we are no joke when it comes to research capabilities. We have a great cause here that just needs a bit of boosting. However, it all starts with our communities. It lies within each and every one of you that hear this. I can get up here and tell you all the negatives of substance abuse, but it does not mean anything if we aren't willing to invest our time, but keep paying your taxes to provide a steady and safe environment for everyone. I apologize. We aren't asking for much here, just your time and whatever you can spare to help our great researchers work for a great cause. Think about it. You never know who will be addicted next. Thank you.